Hello, it's Chris Pickard here at Body in Balance in Hertfordshire. And yes, it has been really sunny. Honestly, if you're watching this in the future on YouTube, we have just had lots of heat and lots of sunshine. So who am I? What am I here to talk about today? Well, I'm Chris Pickard. I have been working with improving people's health and performance for 22 years. Okay. Oh, hello, Mohammed. And I'm here to talk about sports performance, and also my notes are slowly slipping and sliding all the way down. Let's just correct this problem. Look at that. Okay. Now I can see my notes. Nothing like live, is there? Nothing like live. Okay. So what am I going to be talking about? I'm going to be talking about the three big nutrition mistakes that athletes and sports fans just make all the time. Okay, and this isn't based on my work. I'm going to tell you who it's based on in a minute. So I'm going to be talking about acid-alkali balance. I'm going to be talking about toxicity, and I'm going to be talking about unique needs. And these three factors are just so commonly missed. Now, one of the reasons why I'm so keen on getting all of these things across is because one of my missions, in fact my big mission, is to help improve people's peace of mind, because I truly believe if people can become more at peace themselves, there's going to be more world peace. And also, we know that about 620,000 people a year lose their lives through violence, about 120,000 through war, and 500,000 from violent crime happening not due to the army, not due to wars. Okay? So yeah, wars do cause a lot of death, but not as many as violent crimes generally. And the thing is, we know that violence can be decreased through better nutrition. Now, I'm not going to stop there, okay? 800,000 people a year die from suicide, and we know that a lot of suicide is due to brain inflammation that is secondary to a couple of things I'm going to be talking about in a minute. And 1.5 million people die every year from diabetes. So get that. Coca-Cola and sugar kills more people than wars and suicide combined, and violent crimes and murder. Okay, so where should we be prioritizing? We should be worrying about terrorists, but not so much maybe as the sugar and the dangers in your own fridge. Okay, far more serious of a worldwide problem. And it's because people generally, not just athletes, don't take nutrition seriously. Governments and doctors do not take nutrition anywhere near seriously enough. Okay, so that's me off my hobby horse. So what I am providing you with today, okay, is going to provide you with something called Olympic Nutrition, lifestyle and supplements for peak sports and athletic performance. And it's all down to the work of this guy here, Dr. Bob Rakowski. And Dr. Rakowski has been working with high-level athletes in the States. So he's worked with many of the Olympic team. He's worked with a lot of the NFL football players, the basketball players, boxers. Okay, he's worked with them for years, 20 through 24 years. Okay, and this is a summation of his work on sports. I put it together. It's probably worth about £300-400, especially if you're in sports. But if you're not, I mean, I should really be selling this for about 50 quid, because there's so much information, so many shortcuts in here. I've been talking about some of this in a minute. So, Dr. Bob, I mean, he really shot to stardom when a guy called Evander Holyfield turned up one day. Evander Holyfield is one of the guys that beat Mike Tyson, became world boxing champion. Anyway, since then, Bob's helped many, many athletes, okay? And by putting people through these protocols, yes, he's managed to get people getting world records. He's managed to get people winning world titles. I've improved my own athletic performance. I went from being able to do like 50 press-ups in a minute to, well, 40 press-ups in a minute to over 50. I managed to take a minute and a half of my 5-kilometer running time. I've had patients get personal bests in their running. I've got patients get stronger. I've had Olympic athletes improve because so many people, including Olympic athletes, do not get the best nutritional advice. They get some stuff about carbs and proteins, but they don't get what really counts when it comes to performance. So here is number one, okay? In 23 years of Dr. Bob Rakowski working with Olympic athletes, he has not found one that has had perfect acid-alkali balance. So what's acid-alkali balance all about? Well, in your body, you need to keep certain pH levels or acid or alkaline levels at certain points in the body to allow all your bodily processes to function and for you to not burn and corrode yourself. But the trouble is, certain reactions happen better in alkali or acid environments. So what happens is your body creates a lot of what are called enzymes to make reactions happen under different temperatures, under different acid and pH, levels, so that your body works at its optimal function. But if your body is off by even a fraction, a tiny fraction of its acid, but because usually most people get too acidic, even if it's just a fraction, it puts a strain on what's called your acid buffering bicarbonate system. And this then causes all kinds of problems with enzyme reactions. It causes problems with mineral balance, so it can allow your bones and your joints to wear down. It causes effects all the way down to your mitochondria and your energy output. And we're not talking about enough of an acid or an alkali shift to actually cause any massive change in your health, because it really doesn't take much. And your body puts an awful lot of effort in keeping your blood pH the same all the time. Now, an acid buffer pH test will actually test whether or not you've got plenty of reserves and you can cope with lots of stress. And the number one cause of acid stress on your body, it's not what you eat, okay? It's actually exercise. And the more you exercise, the more strain there is on your acid buffer reserves. So you need to test. You need to test your acid buffer reserves. And so the Olympic nutrition document tells you how to test your acid buffer reserves. Oh, and hello Jill, and hello Vanessa Murray. So you need to get this tested, and again, everyone really needs to get this tested, because if your body, even if you are not an athlete, okay, and you're getting tired easily, or you've got lots of aches and pains, test your acid buffer reserves. I'll put a link so you can actually go to a website, my website, so you can actually learn how to do this as well, but there's more on it in this document. The next big problem is another cause of acid problems, but it's something that interferes with how you make energy down at the level of your mitochondria. And that is another of my big topics that I'm always talking about, and that's toxicity. If you've watched last month's videos, you know that we found that the number one cause, or the number one determinant whether or not you're going to get diabetes, is not how much sugar you eat, it's actually how toxic your liver is. And again, most people don't realise how many toxins they're getting inside their body. Toxins shut down mitochondrial energy production, or at least they hamper it in massive ways. And so if you clear toxins from your body, mitochondria work better, you have more energy. And it takes 7 days to get massive improvement. And Dr. Rakowski often sees people get personal bests after just 7 to 14 days of the detox protocol that I talk about in here, one that I used myself, and yes, it works. And what's the third one? The third big mistake is people don't look at their unique needs for their unique sports. So for instance, strength athletes. Now most people realise that strength athletes need a lot more protein, and it goes into how much you need in here. But very few people realise how incredibly inflammatory long distance running and endurance sports are. And if you're doing lots and lots and lots of endurance, your acid buffer system is probably shot to pieces and your inflammatory system is shot to pieces, which means that when you do get an injury, it's going to last, or your body's going to compensate in such a way that you're not going to get better when you finally do get this residue of pain in your body. And then there's different types of training, like CrossFit, where you're doing lots of different things. Each have their own slightly different, unique needs. And again, this goes through the three main big things that you need to do, through whether it's endurance, strength, or you're doing some kind of CrossFit stuff. And the supplements that you need, as well as the diet that you need to go through. There's 7 strategies called the Magnificent 7 that this goes through as well. So what do you definitely need to do? You definitely need to go and get your acid buffer levels checked, or your acid buffer test checked. So you go to my website, the Pain Relief Centres, do a search, but I'll put a link to it. You should definitely PM me your email address so I can send this to you. Again, if you know anyone that's involved in sports, if you know a personal trainer, please share this video with them. I'd be happy to share this information with them. If you know a nutritionist, a sports nutritionist, share this information with them. If you know someone who coaches a football team or a rugby team or a cricket team, share this video with them so that I can get them this information, because it's going to be useful for them. Their team's performance will go up if they follow what's in this document. Okay? What you definitely don't want to do is take no action. Okay? Because if you take no action, you're not going to change at all. And increasing performance means doing something different. It's taking a little bit of a risk, but you're not taking a risk because these are proven protocols. So, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for sharing. Hello, Curly. And please, if you would like the document, PM me your email address so I can send it to you. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Please share and live long and prosper and spread the peace through better nutrition.